Hey, I just want to say thank you real quick before the video starts to everyone who watched and commented on my Barotrauma video. I'm liking this overview and review format, and it gives me a chance to talk to the community and you guys about the subjects. It also helps give me insight on how I can improve the videos, so again, thank you all very much. I remember more than a few years ago, I would sleep over at a friend's house a couple times, and one time we were looking for a game to play. I think we were finally sick of playing Goat Simulator for the 100th time, and I remember that my friend offered us to play a game called Doom 2. As soon as he pulled up the cover for it, Tiny Me was kind of terrified. I remember I said something like, I don't know, it looks like there's a lot of blood in it, and I don't know if I should play that. Connor, the blood is literally just red pixels. That's all it is. You can visibly see the bits off of it. Cut to a few years later, and I noticed that the original Doom and Doom 2 were on Game Pass. Yes, I'm an Xbox user. Please forgive me for my crimes. I decided to revisit it, and I was honestly surprised by how much I enjoyed this game, and I've always had a love for games with just that nostalgic pixelated style. Doom 2 would end up being in my regular rotation. I play Nightmare Mode and would also eventually somehow get it up and running on my Quest 2, which is just a total mind trip to me. But in short, I love Doom 2, and it will always be a timeless classic that I'll revisit every couple months or so. I was about to revisit it again, but actually something else caught my eye. Not Doom 3. Sorry, I never really had an interest in playing you, and I don't know if I ever will. It was Doom Eternal. I remember being recommended it a few times from friends who knew that I liked Doom 2, and I kinda just said, what the hell? For the uninitiated, Doom Eternal is the sequel to the game Doom, which came out in 2016, and Doom itself is actually a requel to a 1993 game of the exact same name. And the 1993 Doom also had two sequels, well, technically three, because Doom 64 exists, but I don't really know if people count that as a sequel. But anyways, Doom Eternal is the fifth game in a fairly long-running franchise about being a futuristic badass who spends her entire life just slaughtering demons from hell who are trying to invade Earth, and that's it. There's some deep lore stuff about things called Sentinels and the Icon of Sin, but Doom has never really been known for the story in my world. Hey, editing Connor here, I was definitely wrong about this. There's actually a surprising amount of lore to this game. This game seems Doomslayer back at it again, running around trying to purification powder his way around Earth by slaughtering hordes of demons and blowing up, frankly, a lot of stuff. A lot does happen in this game, like Doom Guy himself just decides to voluntarily go into hell and he's just in space at one point. It's frankly awesome. I played the campaign like 3 times now, and I still am like, oh yeah, I'm in space now, or like, why am I in a cathedral, or why is that dude so big? Okay, so I do have one issue with this game. It's a very minor thing, and that's the original soundtrack. Now, don't get me wrong, I still love Mick Gordon and all of his music. Harbinger was actually my most listened to song of 2020, but this soundtrack feels a little recycled from 2016 to me. I do know there was like huge drama behind the scenes, like even Moist Critical covered it, which if it's being called out by the "these are mags, not clips" guy, I know the drama's very serious. But anyway, that's really my only issue with this game, except for the battle pass, which I mean, that's every FPS game now, and it doesn't really affect your experience, unless for some reason you really want the Marauder Lumberjack skin. I kind of love the level design in this game. First of all, the settings and locations are really pretty. I love the incorporation of colder areas and weather. It's weird but also very cool to see in a Doom game where you normally have very fiery settings. And I really like the use of the map feature, being able to see the full format of the level, and the use of fast travel is great. I love the use of just simplistic parkour and puzzles. Like Doom Guy could have just finished mowing down dozens of demons just to swing on a couple bars or climb a wall right after like he's some sort of devil Tarzan. My personal favorite level is probably Exultia, or however you pronounce it.
Exultia.
Close enough. I love Exultia's setting in the first half. It's this cool gothic tower area that feels very medieval but also very alien. This is also where you first get the dash feature, which is personally my favorite part of the game. And although I do prefer more of the out-of-the-box settings to this game, I do like the scenery of just hell in the second half. Some of the background is genuinely so cool to look at, and it's the perfect juxtaposition of the first half's setting. Also, you literally get to walk through the actual Doom's Gate. It's just like the song, guys. Mancubus is the best demon. Okay, just kidding. I'll actually go over these guys. The game splits the demons into 4 different categories, which are ambient, fodder, heavy, and super heavy, making them all fairly unique, and just for fun, I'm gonna rank them all out of 10.
Wait a minute! Who are you?
Buff totems aren't a huge part of this game, but as a whole, when they are, I honestly find it really fun. Their entire purpose is to buff nearby demon stats. Like a message will pop up and say, buff totem nearby. And you'll be like, oh no, please, where? And you'll just scramble around the area looking to punch this random totem. But once you do, you kind of just move on with your day. 5 out of 10.
You're a great fucking talker, but you're a shit cook.
Cue balls are adorable. Their entire purpose is to be shot and sent exploding into an enemy or a wall. Like, bro is so cute with his welding helmet and kamikaze outfit. 7.29 out of 10.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
Why do these guys exist? The game would just be so much more fun and enjoyable without them. 0 out of 100. Zombies are probably the most common enemy, but remain pretty highly favored in my eyes. Their design is pretty neat, and I like that with new locations they have different looks. As a cannon fodder enemy, they've stuck with me shockingly well, and the mecha zombie design is clean. 7 out of 10. These guys are probably the ones I'm most disappointed with. The main cause is that they don't show up that often. Like, they are coded all over Doom 2, but they seem weirdly missing in a lot of parts of this game. Other than that, the design for the Lost Souls is awesome. 6 out of 10. Okay, honestly, why are they so short in this game? Like in the 90s Doom, these guys tower over you. Now they're just little gremlins teleporting and throwing fireballs at you. But I find them funny, so all is forgiven. 7 out of 10. Soldiers have a very faithful adaptation from the 90s games. Like, these guys were instantly recognizable to me while still having a more updated design. I like how some of them are bald. It's just a cool callback to the shotgun guys in the original. Also, I like the shield ones because they explode. 8 out of 10.
You're just a cheap fucking knockoff.
I confuse the gargoyles with the imps so much. Like, it's not even funny. If I take a closer look, I notice a lot of the changes. Like, these guys can fly and they spit, not throw stuff at you, but in my eyes, they just feel like Kmart imps to me. Sorry. 4 out of 10. Hey, editing me here. I just realized while doing research that these guys are actually cousins to imps, which makes sense. And they're basically act as a flying version of them, so just thought I'd throw that in there. Still a 4 out of 10 though.
Oh, yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about. Woo!
The first time Pinky showed up, I mentally just went full, woo, yeah, baby, that's what I've been waiting for. I like the addition that their tail is a weak point, making you basically just act as a matador to try and hit them. Also, they look like they have gigantic eyebrows, and it's adorable. 9 out of 10.
This spy has already breached our defenses.
I like these guys. They're pretty cool. I personally feel like they're what imps should have been like. 7.9 out of 10.
It was an Alaskan bullworm!
I wasn't really expecting a demon like this in the game, but I'm glad they are. They're a major standout for their movement and attacks, and also the glory kill looks like you're making some sushi out of them. 8.5 out of 10. Was perfect in the original and is perfect in this game too. 10 out of 10.
I gotta tell you, it was perfect.
This was hands down my favorite redesign. Like, these guys are actually menacing. Also, they let me see Lost Souls a few more times too. 10 out of 10.
Headshot.
The Maker Drones only appear in one mission, but they are useful. I like that if you headshot them, they just dump resources. Also, they were totally designed off of Halo 4 Prometheans. Nobody can tell me otherwise. 7 out of 10.
Hell no. To the no.
I love how forward and brute force these guys are. It's one of the only demons that I actually consider running from, just because of how menacing these guys are, and that Dread Knight design is gorgeous. 8.5 out of 10.
Boo! You suck!
These guys are either really boring or really annoying to fight. Like, the game would literally be the exact same if they weren't in it. I like their Goblin King chins though. 2 out of 10. I do like that these were the first heavy demons that we come across. They set the idea of weak points and big glory kills very well right off the bat. I like how the turret is above them instead of front of them. Also, for some reason, that glory kill drill noise that they make is stuck in my head all the time. Yes, the beholders. I mean, cacodemons. These guys are cool. I like the glory kill where you just pull their eye out. And I like the feature with the shotgun sticky bomb. It's always fun to see the regret that they have in their eye when they eat it.
Dear God, it's beautiful.
Yes, the goat himself. I love these guys. Between the husks and gigantic arm guns, the main man Mancubus is easily the most memorable of any other demons to me. They not only have guns, but they have flamethrowers that both throw flames and do an AoE napalm attack. 6.9 out of 5. Arcviles were probably my favorite demon out of Doom 2, and they still are pretty awesome in this game too. I love the billowing flames that come out of them when they spawn, and I find it awesome how they spawn their own buffed demons themselves. Like a sentient, cooler version of the buff totem. 9.5 out of 10. I kind of confuse the Baron of Hell a lot of times with the Dread Knight version of the Hell Knights, since they both have fiery blades on their arms, but the Baron of Hell is more OP and has hooved legs, which is neat. 7 out of 10.
Wake up, filthy.
Technically they act as a first boss fight, but they are pretty easy to destroy after you learn the weak points. The eyepiece is cool, and I like how they're just a vehicle pretty much. 6.5 out of 10. Same as the Doom Hunters, where once you learn the patterns, they become pretty simple to fight. They act as equals to Doomslayer, having shields, super shotguns, as Doomguy does, and they spawn wolves, which in my opinion should have been entirely separate demons. 7.5 out of 10. No, they're a 3 out of 10. The more I realize these guys actually kind of suck.
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's the MVP!
And last but not least, the Tyrant or Cyber Demons. I first encountered one of them while doing a Slayer gate, and these guys are very intimidating and big. It's honestly what a Cyber Demon should be, and the design does remind me much of that classic design too. 10 out of 10. I was honestly pretty surprised to realize there was only actually 3 boss fights in this whole game, but I'm okay with a smaller number because it just means the ones we have stand out more. The Gladiator was probably the most clear and straightforward of all the boss fights. The Gladiator acts like a lot more beefy, more ranged version of the Marauder, creating a movement that the Marauder has for its size and a flail. It tries to play on your movement a lot too, and now that I think about it, all of the boss fights do that. The Conmaker fight wants you to mainly focus on air movement, the Super Shotgun Hook ability, the Blood Punch, and the Maker Drone ability for dropping resources for headshots. Meanwhile, the more you attack, the harder it gets to touch the floor without damaging yourself. And overall, the entire design of the Urdak level is a welcome change. And finally, the Icon of Sin. When I first saw that he reawakened, I thought that I was just going to have to infiltrate the Icon himself or do something similar to the Doom 2 ending, but no. That would be too easy. You have to constantly fight foot soldiers while this big horned man tries to brain blast and smack you out of existence. You have to focus on destroying plates of armor that he has on, and after that, the skin itself. This boss fight is just, it goes on for so long. I don't know why, it was very hard for me to track which pieces of his skin were destroyed and which pieces weren't, and it only ends once you destroy all parts. Overall, the boss fights are entertaining and do their job, which is to fight the boss. So Doom Eternal does have a pretty medium-sized arsenal at your disposal, most with upgradable components. You have your base weapons, which include weapons like the plasma cannon, the chain gun, and the BFG, while my personal favorites are actually the ballista and the combat shotgun. And you also get cool armor abilities like the flame belch, which sets enemies on fire. You have a grenade and a freeze variant, which can be altered and upgraded to do various things. There's a blood punch ability, which when used with the right add-ons can drop health from enemies and act as a small melee AoE attack. The chainsaw, which makes enemies drop resources and are an insta-kill. And of course the crucible, which works like the chainsaw, where it's a melee insta-kill, but the crucible can be used on any enemy type, but it doesn't drop resources. And if you're curious, this is my weapon ranking. Here's my collection.
Oh, yeah.
I am a total sucker for collectibles in games. I grew up with Lego Batman and Super Mario Bros. For the Wii, so I thought every game should have just mini kits or star coins. And when I found out they were in this game, I was happy, and even happier when I found out you can just get the add-on and use the map to find them. I like it when games show you the locations of collectibles and you just have to figure out how to physically get to them. Not to mention, the design for the toys are just amazing and adorable. Like, when you first get that little Doom guy and the actual Doom guy just pulls out his blade, I love that moment. And I like how you can see the demon models by collecting the toys too. That's a neat add-on. And the ability to collect music from other ID Software games is fun. And you know, I'm playing that Doom 3 main theme all the time in the lobby. I just wish I could actually play those songs in the missions, because playing at Doom's Gate when you're at Doom's Gate would have been amazing. Yeah, wow, I think that's everything I wanted to talk about in Doom Eternal, personally. There's probably a lot that I didn't cover, but this is personally what I wanted to. I really liked this game, and I did find it really rewarding that they gave you the classic skins for playing older Doom games. My entire first run I used the Indigo Doomslayer, which was just so much fun. I haven't tried the multiplayer or DLC yet, and if I ever do, I'll make a second video for those. But I think I'm just going to leave it here for this one. Feel free to leave a comment for the very minor chance that someone disagrees with me that the Mancubus is the best demon. He is, by the way. And one more thing. Why was the pistol not in the base game?